This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, ho there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter and welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, January the 3rd, is a legendary hockey player who actually sired a decent hockey player himself. He's still alive. He's 83 years old today. He is a former player who had one of the best slap shots in history. He was named the Golden Jet. That would be Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull played 23 years in the NHL/WHA, playing for three teams, only three teams. He was a two-time MVP of the NHL, three-time scoring champion, and won the Cup 61 with the Hawks. He helped his WHA team win two titles in 76 and 78, and leading the NHL in goals scoring 7 times, the second most. And was named WHA's most valuable player twice, Hockey Hall of Fame in 1983, and one of the greatest NHL players of all time. He is Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull played for the St. Catharines Teepees in the OHA, which was the predecessor to the OHL, and would join the Blackhawks because the Blackhawks were kind of their sponsor. Teepees Blackhawks got it at HAT. Hull would be second in voting for the Calder or Rookie of the Year. He originally wore number 16 or even wore number 7, but he wore number 9 because of his idol, Gordie Howe. By his third season, he was an icon, scoring goals and scoring points. He won the Art Russ Trophy in 62, 66, and 1960. So anyway, he led Chicago to the Stanley Cup in 1961, which was huge. Their first in 23 years, and their last till 2010. In fact, in 1966, nobody had beaten the 50-goal plateau of Maurice Richard. Boom Boom Jefferson was close. He tied Richard's record, but nothing happened. And he did score 50 goals one year in 1962 when he won the scoring title because he had more goals. He had 50, and then when the Rangers came to town, he scored at Chicago Stadium over Cesar Menango's shoulder. Hull would get up to 54 goals, which was the highest in the original 6 era, and wouldn't be broken until Phil Esposito in 1971. And Hull actually broke the record for most points of the season with 97. And of course, that record was broken by Esposito as well. So Hull led the league in goal scoring 7 times in the 1960s, but the Blackhawks couldn't really score for a Stanley Cup wins to save their life. They had one, but there could have been more. He was remarkable in all that. He made the first team All-Star team with the being left winger 10 times in his 15 NHL seasons. A lot of people said his slap shot was huge, and it was clocked at over 118 miles per hour, and he could skate 29.7 miles per hour. Unfortunately, Hull was not happy with how much he was getting paid by the Blackhawks. Well, Arthur and Bill Wirtz were terrible people. You know that for being penny pinchers and all that, and it cost the Blackhawks dearly in those years. Anyhow, Hull actually told the World Hockey Association's or WHA's team, the Winnipeg Jets in 1972, he could jump for $1 million. However, the Jets called his bluff and gave him $1 million. Well, it would be a $1.75 million contract over 10 years being player coach of the Jets and $1 million signing bonus. So it was huge. Brett Hull was the WHA's greatest star and basically a turning point for the WHA, now telling the NHL that they were for real. And they were for real. So Hull won the MVP in 73 and 75. And with Anders Hedberg and Ulf Nielsen as linemen, the Winnipeg Jets had a great line. You know, it was the hot line, getting the Jets 2 AFCO Cups or WHA titles. It was amazing. And all that. He was an icon. Hull could have been part of Team Canada in the Summit Series in 72, but because he jumped to the rival league, Hull was not allowed to compete. because Canada's top NHL players would play the national team. However, there was a second Summit Series which had the WHA star players from Canada compete. Bobby Hall was on the team with Gordie Howe to take on the Soviets. But the WHA were not the Canadian NHL team. They got blown out of the water 4-1 with 3 ties. Whereas Canada had won the previous Summit Series 4-3-1. Hall had 7 goals. And he was part of the 76 Canada Cup winning squad, scoring 5 goals in 7 games. There even was a rule called the Bobby Hall rule because of the curve of the stick. Because Hall and Mikita were catalysts for a craze which players curved the blades of their hockey sticks, called banana blades. Hall is linked to this rule because of the danger to goalies, because not too many of them wore masks and all that. So the curvature is now 3/4 of an inch. All that because of that. Bobby Hall didn't play much in the 79 WJ season, the last one in history. However, after the 79 merger, he decided to play for the Jets. Unfortunately, he got himself into deep trouble when he was late to a game that would be nationally televised in Canada for the Jets hosting the Habs on Tuxedo Night, as it were. And he was not allowed to play. He was so mad he asked for a trade, so he got traded to Hartford for future considerations. It was funny that Gordie Howe and Bobby Hall were on the same team and all of that. Hall wouldn't do much. He would only play in 9 games in the regular season and 3 playoff games. But Bobby Hall couldn't stay away. In 1981, he tried to join the Rangers at age 42 because Herb Brooks, who was the Rangers coach at the time, wanted Bobby Hall to join Hedberg and Nielsen in New York. He tried, but he and the Rangers both decided it was best to end the comeback. Anyway, Bobby Hall did do his due diligence, winning 3 Art Ross's 2 Hearts or MVP, a Lady Byng, and a Stanley Cup. So, can't deny it. In fact, his 1,018 goals with the NHL and WHA combined, including the playoffs, is the 3rd most all-time behind Wayne Gretzky and Gordie Howe. Anyway, he was named Officer of the Order of Canada in 1978. His number 9 jersey was retired by the Blackhawks, the Jets, and the Coyotes. But when Brett Hall and Bobby's son joined the Coyotes, they unretired the number for Brett to wear number 9. But he couldn't. But he couldn't do well. And then Evander Kane wears number 9. So anyway, Hall allegedly made pro-Nazi comments one time. According to the Moscow Times, he said Hitler, for example, had some good ideas. He just went too far. Echoing the Marchot comments in 1996 when she said it. And Hall said he didn't compliment Hitler and said journalists raised the subject. All that. But all was forgiven. Anyway, Hall had his things and all that. Hall's ancestors immigrated to Canada from Slovakia. Hall's younger brother Dennis was an icon for the Blackhawks too. So Dennis and Bobby both played for the Hawks for 8 seasons. And Dennis Hall was put on Team Canada. He wanted to boycott because his brother wasn't able to play the 7 series, but Bobby said no, that's not anything. Bobby's marriage to Joanne in 1980 ended with several abusive incidents, and his 3rd wife accused him of assault and battery. In fact, Hall was romantically involved with a woman named Claudia, And he retired from Hartford to take care of Clyde, who was injured in an automobile accident, and they parted ways 3 years later. Anyway, Bobby had 5 children with Joanne. Bobby Jr., Blake, Brett, Bart, and Michelle. Brett, who was the third kid in the family, was a hockey star too, getting 741 goals, making it the 5th highest goal scorer in NHL history. And Bobby and Brett are the only father and son tandem to score 50 goals in a season and score 600 NHL goals. And they won the Hart Trophy. Bobby won twice, Brett won once, and the Lady Byng as well. Bart Hall actually was a running back for Boise State in the late 80s and actually played in the CFL. Bobby Jr. and Blake actually played junior and senior hockey, and they were part of the Allen Cup winning squad in 1987 and all that. Bobby Jr. actually won the Memorial Cup with the 1980 Cornwall Royals, so that was good on him. All that. But they weren't that amazing, all that. So yeah, he's very iconic and all that. Won the Art Ross 3 times, as I said, Stanley Cup champion, the MVP twice, Lady Byng 65, and WHA legend. He was actually second in WHA legend in goals, 6th assists, 3rd in points. That's pretty good. So yeah, Bobby Hull was a legend. Scored 610 goals, 1,170 points in 1,063 NHL games. In the playoffs, 129 points in 119 games. He actually was the player coach for Winnipeg and didn't really do so well. It was basically once Bobby Crumb became coach that he excelled, that the team excelled. So, what else can you do? Anyway, I do have time and I do.